Hello, friends, and welcome to the Virtual Strangers review discussion of Until Dawn Rush of Blood. I am your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend, Ruuts. Ruuts, how's it going, brother?
It's going good, man. How about yourself?
Not bad. Ready to talk some VR. Ready to get the weekend started. So, Until Dawn Rush of Blood, this is a game that came to us from Supermassive Games. It launched with PlayStation VR October 10, 2016. So almost 3 years old, just a couple of weeks away from the anniversary. Then this game is nearly three. Um, this is a rail shooter, essentially, horror themed rail shooter. And as I said, with it being 3 years old, surely this worn out genre and this old game doesn't hold up today, does it, Roots?
Oh yeah, it's horrible. It's garbage. No, actually, dude, couldn't tell you that it came out 3 years ago. Even on the PlayStation VR vanilla, it looked amazing and played amazing.
Yeah, this is one of those, in my opinion, timeless classics. It's a game that it to me it never gets old. It's like it's not just because it's my genre either. This is obviously somewhat a horror game, but I feel like if this game had a completely different aesthetic and was bright and happy, I feel that the roller coaster uh, 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 the roller coaster implementation and mechanics, along with the shooting and target shooting in this game, I feel like it would hold up without the horror theme. What about you? Do you think that this game is carried by the horror genre, or is it really the gameplay here?
No, it's the gameplay because I would play like you said. It doesn't matter what the game is. If I could be on a roller coaster and it's engaging enough and there's shit to shoot and you got to dodge and stuff, wish more people would do this, especially on PC VR. And I would love to play this game. Speaking of that, on the PC because it looked so good on PlayStation. I thought, oh man, this would look so. I think this all the time though. This would look so good, super sampled, But man, everything about this game, just the shooting felt so good, even with the controllers. Like everybody bitches about the Move controllers, but there's no jank because all you're doing is aiming and shooting, and that's what they do the best. And I felt immersion. I really felt like I was in there, and it was pretty creepy as hell too, man. You didn't tell me, further on in the game as you get into the end. I'm like, man, this is some fucked up shit. Like every level got creepier, and what I noticed is if you notice when you're going into every level, that face, the eyes get more creepy and demonic looking, and the sounds inside get weirder, and I don't like it. And yeah, it was fun. It was definitely a game that I enjoyed playing through.
Yeah, a lot of things that this game does, in my opinion, it does, better than any other game that I've played. First of all, you mentioned it just there, the tracking on the Move controllers here. Um, I don't think I've ever played a game that the tracking was so spot on with those Move controllers. I mean, if you obviously you've got a single camera front facing setup, so you can make it lose tracking if you literally turn your body, but there's not a lot in this game that would make you turn to the point where you would lose tracking. Um, Another thing that really jumps out every time I play this game is the outdoor levels. The I don't know. I mean, obviously it's beautiful graphically inside and out, but there's something about being out in the woods in this game that feels so real to me. Did you notice that when you were playing through it?
Yeah, everything felt real. I mean, it did feel even more real because it's not as I don't know, just it did feel a little bit more real when you were outside. You know, and I guess we didn't mention the guns. That was one of the coolest things too, as well as how you get to keep upgrading your guns, and you can choose what you want to be using, whether it's a machine gun or like a shotgun type of thing. And then sometimes you don't get to choose. But I one thing that I was going to ask you actually, as I was watching that video, now that I think about it, did you? I had a problem. Like, okay, I would shoot those things that would change your direction, and maybe it's just every time I shot it, I felt like I chose the wrong path. Like I would look where I was going, and I was like, oh wait, no, I don't want to go this way, and the other way would look a little bit more appealing. Did that? Maybe that's the way they design it, but that was kind of cool that you could choose different directions, and sometimes it seemed like completely different paths.
Yeah, I've played through this game probably 4 or 5 times now, and I still don't think that I've taken every turn that I can take. What Ruuts is talking to, the whole game's on rails. Literally, you're on a track. It's a roller coaster game. You, at its heart, at its base, this is a roller coaster game with guns, and there are points in every level that there are junction switches where it'll be pointing in one direction. You shoot it, and it switches the track, and you can go in the opposite direction. Um, yeah, you kind of feel like there's no right path in this game because generally after you go through one of these junctions, something pretty significant comes at you. So yeah, a few of them I've been through so many times both ways that I know uh, where I'm going, and then there are others still that I'm unsure of. Which way did I go last time? Well, I want to go a different way this time, but I don't remember what I did. And uh, even beyond that, uh, there are other forks in the track that make you second guess yourself. Did I miss a junction switch? Can I go that way, or is that just for scenery? Some of them, I believe there are switches in this game that I haven't found, and the reason why I think so is because I'll see a fork. I'll see the track fork off to the right, and I'll look down the corridor where it's going, and I can see targets down there, things to shoot, and I don't feel like they would put those things down there just for scenery to make it seem real. Um, so yeah, what you're saying is one of the cooler things about this game. It adds a lot of replayability as if it weren't replayable enough already. And yeah, I thought it was really cool as well.
Would you play a sequel of this game, like Rush of Blood 2? Like, because I'm already ready to play it, and I'm not joking. I don't care what kind of roller coaster shooter game. I think that would be amazing, because I tried to get that one. I think there's one on the PC that's kind of similar to this, but you get off.
Yeah, it's the Ghost Town mine ride, and it's nowhere near what this is.
No, because you're not even on the ride very long, and you're walking around half the time, and it's like I wanted to be on a minecart ride where I was shooting stuff the whole time. So this fills that void. But would you recommend it to people that are faint of heart, or don't like jump scares, or don't like scary stuff? Because it had some crazy stuff in this game for sure.
Well, I'll say this. This is a great game for beginners. This game will not make you sick, even though it's a roller coaster. And we'll talk more about the roller coaster parts in just a moment. But even though it's a roller coaster, this game is even people who don't play video games at all, never have, can pick this game up and play it. The controls are simple and intuitive. You've got two controllers in your hands. They track perfectly, and you have your whole body, and your arms work just like your arms in real life. I mean, the inverse kinematics are perfect. There's basically only two buttons. There's the triggers, which shoot, and then there's your thumbs, which reload, and that's it. So while you're asking me, would I recommend this to people who are faint of heart?
Mm.
It was one of the first games I played. It was one of the first games my wife played. All three of my children have played this game. My dad's played this game. My in-laws have played this game. My sisters have played this game. My nieces and nephews have played this game, and everyone was blown away by it. Now, they haven't played deep into it. They just played those first couple of levels, the tutorial levels, pretty mild-mannered, and then you go into the pig level with the pigs, and generally they quit after that one, but they're all amazed by it. So, yeah, I would say the game starts slow. It's a ton of fun. So, yeah, even if you're not the best with horror games, I think this is a pretty decent one to cut your teeth on, even though it is freaking crazy and it gets worse and worse and worse as you go. But, yeah, I would. I did.
That's what's funny is like it does, like in the beginning you're playing and you're like, oh, this is wuss puss, man. There ain't nothing going on. There's just targets, and it just slowly drags you in, and then it gets crazier and crazier. And like you said, once you get to that pig level, and I'm like looking around everywhere, really what I was wondering is I wonder what all this is going to be made into. But I could see how a lot of people would bow out, especially if they're, soft society wise, but
and to what you were asking me a moment ago as well, yeah, absolutely, 100%. I feel like even as old as this game is, this is one of those games that they could make a sequel to in the same engine with the same mechanics, just make new levels. I think it would work even today. Graphically, it looks on par with any PlayStation VR game that's out today, and it's just fun to play. When we did our episode last week on the Monday show and we were listing our games that we would like to see sequels to or ports to PC, this was on my list, but when we narrowed it from 5 to 3, I marked it out because I knew you were going to be viewing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The roller coasters on this. Now, you've probably tried a few more roller coasters in VR than I have. But I have tried quite a few myself. I like roller coasters in real life, and I like them in VR, but I haven't found very many good ones that actually feel like you're on a roller coaster. This, in my opinion, shooting aside, horror game aside, this is one of the more realistic feeling roller coaster rides that I've experienced in VR. What did you think about the coaster parts in this game?
It's very good. Like you said, it's centered around it. So I'm glad that I mean, if it wasn't as good as it is, this game would suck. Like I don't even know how many bad roller coasters I've played in VR. That was like the big thing in the first 2 years. Everybody wanted to make a roller coaster, and I can make a better one than you, and I'm gonna have dragons in it, and it's gonna be cool. And then you get in there, and it's like, this is kind of lame, and it sucks. It doesn't feel realistic. So aside from like I was telling you, No Limits 2. I mean, this is definitely one of the better ones I've played.
Yeah. This game, I really can't say enough good things about it. I'm trying to think about things that I can criticize about this game and what they've done here. The graphics are beautiful. The sounds are great. As a horror game, this thing, it has a 5-minute mild level, and from that point forward, it just ramps up and gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And there are some truly disturbing images in this game as you get into the later rounds. The gunplay's perfect, especially for it being move controllers like it is. The roller coaster aspects of it are some of the best in VR. Ruuts, what is there to criticize about this game? Help me out here.
I can't. I mean, only thing I can think of that I would criticize it, and it's not a criticism as much as a wish, is I want to play it on PC, but other than that, this game to me is pretty damn perfect. I mean, I can't think of anything. I'm sure somebody that's watching this is like, dude, this is whatever is the worst thing ever. But
Justin said he put it down fairly quickly because he had issues with move drift in this game, and I just think that's mind blowing to me. When he says that, it makes me think that there must be something wrong with his setup, because I said it at the top of this video. This is one of the best tracking move controller games on PlayStation. So, yeah, I'm sure there are a few out there that have had bad experiences with it, but man, I mean, I guess there are parts in this game, if I'm going to be critical, there are some parts that are very difficult. Sometimes it feels like a bit unfair, some of the deaths in it. But those are few and far between. It is a bit short overall, I guess. You can play through it in 2 to 3 hours. How long did it take you to play through it?
Probably about 2 to 3 hours, maybe 3 hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, it's about that's how much I want. I don't want them to be too long, to be honest. You know, we were just talking about Asgard's Wrath and being 40 hours, and that's amazing. It is a little daunting at some point, but you know, 3 hours to me is pretty much perfect. It's like watching a movie. I don't want to watch an 8-hour movie, you know, but I guess it depends on the game as well.
Boy, this guy in this video is a crack shot, man. He's on fire.
Dude, he is awesome for sure.
Anyway, I'm trying to think of things to be critical of. There's not much. There's tons of replayability here. Even if the tracks didn't fork, which they do, which gives you multiple paths to play through, and the paths, they're not like Blood and Truth, where one path is slightly different than the other one. One path will take you down the mountainside while the other path takes you through the caves. I mean, most of the time the paths are significantly different in this game. But even if those options weren't there, this game is so fun that you could just replay it. I mean, just play, knowing everything that's coming. It doesn't retract from the experience here at all. If anything, it might make it a bit more easy to handle because the jump scares aren't going to make you jump so much the second, third, fourth time in. But the gameplay itself is just outstanding. Now, Ruuts, $20 is what this game retails for. And in my opinion, it's every bit worth $20. But here's the thing. This game goes on sale all the time. Every time it's on sale, it's for less than $7. A lot of the times it's less than $5.
Wow.
Is there an excuse to not own this game if you have PlayStation VR?
No, I mean, I don't think so. Like you said, everybody in your family's played it, loves it, you know, extended relatives, kids, nephews, whatever. So even if it's not your cup of tea, or you don't want to do roller coasters, you don't like shooting things, you don't like scary things, I guarantee some people that you have in your life will. And for $5, man, like on sale, or even $7, I mean, I would pay 20. Actually, I did pay 20. I paid 20 for the physical. It's one of the first games I bought, just because I wanted, like I said, I wanted to have a roller coaster shooter game. I don't care if it's horror or if it's Mario, you know, like it could be any world, really.
Well, you can, there's a demo level. They give you the pig level as a demo, and you can either get it standalone now, but back when I got my PlayStation VR, it was part of the demo disc volume 1, and it was one of the first things I experienced in VR. So yeah, admittedly, I do have those nostalgic feelings whenever I look, see, and play this game. But, you know, as biased as I am towards it, I don't feel like I'm over exaggerating the quality here. This game absolutely holds up. 3 years later, it holds up with any game in this genre. I struggle to think of a better wave shooter than this. I'm sorry, rail shooter. I don't think I've ever played a better rail shooter than this. And yeah, and it checks off all the boxes. It's about as good as they could have done with it, in my opinion. This game is one of the best in VR.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely think that anybody that has a PlayStation VR should try it.
All right, so I think that's going to wrap up our discussion here. I think we were pretty clear about how we feel about this game. I'm glad, Ruuts, that you finally played all the way through it, because I've been waiting on you to make it through this one. I know you tried like the early levels in it before, but like you said, this game just ramps and ramps and ramps up. How much would you like to see Anthony play all the way through this game?
I'd love to just watch him play a couple of the later levels. And like you said, it was funny because I was playing and I was remembering, because I didn't go very far apparently, and I was like, every level I'm like, what in the hell is going on in this place, man? This is a crazy ass place. And that dude in the beginning, that every scene you see him, he's a little bit more fucked up and something's happening and there's creepy things, and I don't know. I'd love to see Anthony or Alex play it. So Alex, see a playthrough on your channel, buddy. I'd love to see it, man.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of it. You know, you mentioned earlier that you'd like to see this on PC to see what it could look like, you know, jacked up. We're going to be able to play it on PlayStation 5 and most likely in a little over a year. And that's one of my most anticipated things about the PlayStation 5. It isn't only the new games it's going to carry with it, but the added effect it's going to give to my old favorites, and this is certainly chief among those.
Yeah, plus whatever controllers difference the 5 has, or I don't know. I'm hoping PlayStation 5 will, you know, they won't come out with a new headset, but maybe they'll come out with some controllers, but maybe not.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I don't know. That's another topic for another day. We'll get into that some Monday soon. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for us here, folks. We both totally recommend it. If this is your kind of game and you just weren't aware of it and you want to go drop the $20 on it, go for it. If not, like I said, this game launched with PlayStation October 10th, 2016, which means the anniversary is just a couple of weeks away. And for those of you who don't know, the PSVR anniversary sale is the biggest PSVR game sale of the year. Over half the store normally goes on sale, and you'll be able to pick this game up particularly for pocket change when that happens.
And if you have PC VR, you're going to want to do that because it's about the same time Asgard's Wrath comes out, and that's $40. So save some money, right?
Right. Yeah. It's going to be a fun month for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, what do you think? Be sure to leave a comment down below, and if you've liked this video, be sure to click the thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to keep up with all of our nearly daily content here on the Virtual Strangers channel. So thanks for watching, friends. For Ruuts, I'm Wes. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Stay easy.